Hey guys, what is up? This is Shark, and today I'm going to discuss why the Bug Off is way better than the fishing tourney in literally every way, and why I think the fishing tourney they need to change it. They need to do something to change it because it's trash. I'm using my secondary account, Matilde, for this, since when I recorded the footage, I didn't have a whole heck of a lot of time, and I was already logged in as Matilde, and did not want to switch accounts. I'm gonna start off with the Bug Off, because I have a lot less to say about it, and I don't feel as though it needs any changes. I like it as it is, and there's basically nothing wrong with it. You just catch as many bugs as you can in 3 minutes. Easy. So, bugs are everywhere. They're on the ground, everywhere, in the sky, everywhere, on trees depending on what season it is. There aren't very many beetles or cicadas around in this one because I did it in September. But yeah, bugs are everywhere. You can get a bug on the plaza the second the Bug Off starts. No big deal. Fishing tourney, you gotta run to the nearest body of water and hope there's a fish there within the first, 45 seconds, because I've gone about a minute before catching a fish before. With bugs, more often than not, you don't have to worry about scaring them away, or making sure the critter can see the bobber like with the fishing tourney. You just run up to the bug and yoink it out of the sky, or off the ground, or off the tree with your net. Only a small number of bugs will actually flee if you don't catch them the first time you try to whack them with your net. Like, honestly, a butterfly or a dragonfly isn't gonna peace out permanently if you run towards it and wildly swing your net until you get it. It's like, whatever, I'm just gonna ignore the person aggressively swinging that weird stick at me and go about my business like it isn't my problem. And for the Bug Off, 3 minutes is a good amount of time, too. I'm a really big numbers nerd, and I wanted to run a couple of controls to see, what the averages are for me personally catching bugs in a 3-minute span. So I did 10 control runs of the Bug Off time parameters. In those control runs, I would catch as many bugs as I could in 3 minutes. And in those 3 minutes, despite doing it in October with a fairly poor selection of bugs to catch during the day, I managed a total of 72 bugs in those 10 runs. Not all at once though, just out of the 30 minutes, I caught 72 bugs. My net broke once, I shot down a couple of balloons because I'm short on cash in the game, and I even spoke to a villager who is having a little bit of a conundrum. So, if you're following along, that was an average of 7.2 bugs per 3 minutes, or roughly 7 bugs, which is about what I average. I usually do 8 or 9 in the Bug Off. I caught at least 6 bugs in each round, and caught 10 or more twice. One of the times I caught 10 bugs, my net broke. And I did the same with the fishing tourney, and I'll go into that later, but the numbers weren't good. Would I personally recommend any changes for the Bug Off? No, not at all. It's perfect. The bugs spawn fairly frequently. 3 minutes is more than enough time to get 10 or more bugs, because I've done it on countless occasions. And it's pleasant. I enjoy it. It's fun. I don't end up angry and salty after Bug Offs because I suck at catching fish, like I do with the fishing tourney, because again, I suck at catching fish. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about the Bug Off. On to the fishing tourney. The fishing tourney. The bane of my existence in Animal Crossing, and something I don't really enjoy as much as I enjoy the Bug Off. I'm just gonna start off by saying 3 minutes isn't enough time, and I'll get into why in a little bit. I've run the numbers, because like I said, I'm a numbers person. I'm a numbers nerd. I love math, and yet I'm studying history in college. Go figure. Whatever. But anyway, so, with fishing, you have to worry about the fish seeing your bobber first, or not seeing it, and end up having to recast 15 times before the fish decides, oh, hey, there's something that kind of looks like, there's something that looks edible over there. I'm gonna go check it out. You also have to worry about the fish taking its sweet time biting the bobber, or you accidentally pulling the bobber out just as the fish noticed it because you didn't think it saw it. Or, if you're like me, and just a little too quick on the trigger, and you pull the bobber out too soon every other time. Or, you have to worry about catching a rock, or a boot, or a tire, or an egg. I'm still not over that first fishing tourney. Or that egg event! It's been months and it's still haunting me! Or when it takes 20 seconds for a rock to somehow bite your line! It's infuriating when you only have 3 minutes! What the hell? Okay, time to stop screaming and calm down to throw some numbers at you guys. Like with the bug off, I did a control run, 10 of them to be precise, where I took the fishing tourneys, time parameters of 3 minutes, and tried to see how many fish I could catch in those 3 minutes, and I did that 10 times. I have to note, I only used ocean because my island layout and the rivers and ponds in my island are not in an ideal location for trying to catch as many fish as you can in 3 minutes. It's just not easy to navigate around, so I used the ocean. I also did not use any bait, because no bait, we catch what we catch like gamers. I didn't have time to catch all the manila clams and turn them into bait and whatnot, whatever. No bait, ocean only. So, in those 10 3-minute rounds, I caught 40 fish in 54 fish spawns. During that time, I had 1 fishing rod break, and I shot down 2 balloons, trying to get stuff, because stuff is nice to have. Then, I took it a step further and looked at 22 fish I caught. I wanted it to be 20, but I miscounted and ended up with 22, so my sample size here is 22. Out of those 22 sample fish I caught, so 22 fish caught, I landed 2 on the first nibble, 12 on the second, 6 on the third, and 1 on both the fourth and the fifth one. And the fifth one was the rock I was complaining about a few minutes ago. In those 22 fish, it took an average of 13.1 seconds to reel the fish in. The shortest amount of time it took me to reel a fish in was 8 seconds, and that was one of the first encounters. The longest it took was 21 seconds, which was the rock that bit on the 5th nibble. So, let's run a few scenarios here using my numbers. I was playing solo. So, assuming I didn't have to recast my line, the fish saw it the first time every time, I averaged 15.6 seconds in between each fish, and 13.1 seconds to reel it in, which is 28.7 seconds. 3 minutes is 180 seconds, so rounding 28.7 seconds up to 30 because it's a nice, even, round number. That is 6 fish in that span, an average of 6 possible fish you can catch in 180 seconds. 7 if you get very, very lucky. Now, let's take that a step further and say you got very lucky and every single fish bit on the first nibble, which takes roughly 9 seconds. It's an average of 9 seconds, sometimes it takes 8 seconds, sometimes it takes 10, but that averages out to 9. And the 15.6 seconds in between each fish, that is 24.6 seconds per fish, so you can catch like 7 fish in 180 seconds, or 3 minutes. I mean, all of the numbers have decimals. It's actually, for my average, it was 6.2, and for the best case scenario, it was 7.3, but you can't catch a third of a fish, at least in Animal Crossing. In real life, you can catch a partial fish, or a third of a fish. I've had that happen as a kid. I was like 8 years old, and I caught a fish, I landed a fish, and as I was reeling it in, a bigger fish went and took a big chunk out of the fish I had caught. So by the time I got to shore, it was like half a fish, and 8-year-old me, it was the funniest thing in the world, and my dad was just like, what happened? But anyway, I digress. So, yeah, 3 minutes isn't anywhere near enough time for the fishing tourney, in my personal opinion. Like, this is just an opinion piece. This is my opinion. But 3 minutes, unless you want to spend hours making bait, catching manila, or digging up manila clams, I've never done that. I've never used fish bait. I've caught everything I caught by chance, but whatever. In fact, I don't even have the fish bait recipe on my secondary account. I only have it on my first account, and I did everything with my second account so it would be consistent. So yeah, there are the numbers, they are not good, and it needs to be fixed. So, now, how would I recommend they fix the glaring issues with the fishing tourney? As I've said multiple times, 3 minutes is not enough time. They want to stick with the 3-minute time parameter. I feel like Nintendo needs to drastically increase the number of fish that spawn during the fishing tourney. And by drastically increase the fish spawn rates, I mean encounter a fish every couple of paces, as opposed to having to walk 13.1 seconds in between each fish. Or what they could do with their current spawn rates is increase the amount of time to 5 minutes. With a 5-minute time limit, the 28.7 seconds I averaged for each fish yields you 10 fish. So, catching a fish every 30 seconds, you end up with 10 instead of 6, which I feel is a lot more in line with the amount of bugs you can catch in the bug off with their current bug off parameters. So, yeah, I feel like if it were up to me, in the fishing tourney, I would increase the time limit from 3 minutes to 5 minutes. So, with that being said, I think I'm gonna start to wrap this up. And I'm gonna wrap it up with a question. Do you guys like how the fishing tournament is at the moment? Are there any possible solutions to make it better that you've come up with that perhaps I didn't think of? Or just tell me your thoughts and opinions on it. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you wish it was different? Drop your thoughts and opinions down here. And with that, I'm gonna call it a video, so thank you very much for watching. Hit like if you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want. This was my first scripted video, and I'm pretty sure that's very, very apparent. I haven't done a video like this. I might do them later on. In the past. In the future. It's been a long week. Again, thank you for watching. I hope you guys are all staying as safe as you possibly can. Have a fantastic day, and this is Shark signing off.